Zombies cannot run. I say this definitively as the grandfather or the godfather of zombies. Zombies cannot run. So anyone who has a zombie running, don't listen to that person. Their ankles would snap. I mean, you know, what did they do? Go and join a spa the moment they rose from the dead? Give me a break. They're dead.
That's George Romero, director of these films and the Godfather of zombies. Romero, who is known for his horror films, got his start in Pittsburgh working with Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
He hired me to shoot the remote stuff.
He directed episodes like How to Change a Light Bulb and Mr. Rogers Gets a Tonsillectomy.
To this day, the scariest film I ever made.
Romero later went on to create Night of the Living Dead, which was his first feature-length film and also the film that completely redefined zombies in cinema.
The killers are eating the flesh of the people they murdered.
Him and his friends created a production company called Image 10 Productions. Each one of them threw in $600 towards the making of Night of the Living Dead. Before Night of the Living Dead, zombies were seen as emotionless servants controlled by voodoo magic. Romero was inspired by the classic Universal monster films, that's why his zombies move slow. Initially, Romero wasn't calling them zombies at all, but actually his monsters were called ghouls. The lighting for Night of the Living Dead was inspired by Orson Welles' Othello. Othello is known for its dramatic use of shadows, which interpreted the world around the character to be shattered. Night of the Living Dead had a cultural significance to it as well, with actor Dwayne Jones playing the leading role of Ben. In the 1960s, the civil rights movement was still struggling to find its place in America. Having a lead black actor at the time carried a different interpretation of the film, especially if you know the ending. I'm not going to spoil it for you. You need to go watch this movie if you haven't seen it. It's a classic. Romero said that when they casted Dwayne, it was because he was the best actor that auditioned for the part. It wasn't until later when the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. happened where Romero realized that his film was going to be about a lot more than just zombies.
First, he created the most frightening film ever made. Then, he took his unique vision of terror one step further. Now, George A. Romero takes us out of the night, beyond the dawn, and into the darkest day of horror the world has ever known. Day of the Dead.
Romero continued his zombie film series with Dawn of the Dead, which showed survivors in a mall surrounded by zombies. This film was seen as a commentary on American consumerism. Day of the Dead shows the full progression of the zombie apocalypse, with a military unit in a secret base studying the zombies, trying to figure out why they do what they do. This was a critique on Cold War militarism. Both of these films showed that the worst thing about a zombie apocalypse could just very well be the people surviving.
This extraordinary thing is happening, and people are still arguing about upstairs, downstairs, who's the boss. You know, they're still arguing about their own agendas instead of facing the problem. And that's really what all of my zombie films have been about.
Romero had other films like Season of the Witch, The Crazies, and Monkey Shines, which are pretty terrific. Romero's often overlooked masterpiece was a film called Martin, which was about a mentally ill young man who thought he was a vampire.
My name is Martin. I'm 84 years old. The only way I can survive is by drinking blood.
It's a favorite by critics, and Romero himself said that it's his favorite film. It was also the film where him and legendary monster creator Tom Savini first worked together. From then, Savini always had a huge hand in Romero's films, from monster design to acting. George Romero wasn't just a man who made zombie films, and his initial intention wasn't just to become a horror movie master. What he didn't know is that he was going to create an entirely new subgenre in film. Romero's films have influenced pop culture and the horror genre greatly, giving inspiration to other directors and completely shaping what the word zombie means in our brains. I was fortunate enough to meet him before he passed, and I am continuously thankful for his contribution to cinema and the world. Also, does anybody remember that Black Ops Zombie level where George Romero is the main bad guy in it? What, you played as Robert Englund, Machete, Sarah Michelle Gellar, or Michael Rooker, and you were being chased around by a giant possessed George Romero on a set of a zombie film where the zombies came to life to attack you? Yeah, that was pretty badass. Hey, thank you for watching. If you want to see Night of the Living Dead, I'm pretty sure it's free on Wikipedia. If you like this video, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.